Sweden, once renowned for its calm and peaceful environment, now finds itself in the midst of an unprecedented migration crisis. This influx has led to significant social challenges, including a surge in gang violence and explosions. The country, which was once a model of the welfare state, is now facing turmoil that threatens to unravel its social fabric. In this video, we'll explore how Sweden's recent migration wave is impacting the nation as a whole. Stay tuned to learn how the open-door policy has contributed to gang wars and gun violence. Sweden's neutrality during World War II paved the way for a strong export-focused economy. This economic stability was underpinned by a robust parliamentary democracy and widespread societal agreement, resulting in top-tier healthcare and education systems. However, this admired role model is now being viewed as a cautionary example. Gang-related violence has spread beyond Sweden's borders, causing alarm among citizens and neighboring countries. The Swedish government, breaking a long-standing taboo, has sought military assistance to support the police. Erik Thedéen, the governor of the Bank of Sweden, emphasized the severity of the situation, warning that the rise in shootings and bombings poses a significant threat to the country's long-term economic growth. These safety concerns are prompting skilled Swedes to leave and discouraging foreign talent from relocating to Sweden. The declining quality of education, fueled by rising ethnic tensions and violence in schools, is compounding the issue. Sweden's performance in international student assessments has been declining, a worrying trend for a nation that relies on knowledge and innovation. It's not just the central bank raising alarms, political leaders are also acknowledging the crisis, but effective solutions remain elusive. The core of this crisis lies in Sweden's open-door migration policy, which lacked sufficient integration measures. This has led to the formation of immigrant-dominated neighborhoods with high unemployment rates and schools where Swedish language proficiency is low among both students and teachers. These conditions have fostered crime, allowing gangs to thrive in areas with limited societal support. After years of denial, the Swedish government is now recognizing the negative impact of 2 decades of immigration and unsuccessful integration. Official statistics reveal a significant increase in the number of foreign-born residents in Sweden over the past 20 years. With a population exceeding 10 million in 2022, over 2 million were recorded as foreign-born, more than double the figure from 2000, making up over 20% of Sweden's population. Even if immigration were completely halted, the proportion of foreign-born residents would likely continue to grow due to demographic factors. The foreign-born population is generally younger than the native population, leading to higher growth rates, even without considering cultural differences in family size. Among 25 to 34-year-olds, 1 in 4 has a foreign background, a figure that rose to 38% in 2022. While these statistics might not seem alarming at first glance, advocates of migration and asylum seekers often highlight Sweden's successful history of immigration. However, this perspective overlooks the varied experiences of migrants. The Swedish government has initiated a study to analyze the costs and benefits of migration, categorized by the migrants' countries of origin. This study aims to shed light on the current challenges of integrating large numbers of non-Swedish-speaking adults with many children. Unlike previous waves of migration, which involved people from culturally similar backgrounds who quickly found employment, the current situation presents distinct challenges. The media and political establishment's lack of control over the situation, coupled with a prolonged open-door policy without successful integration, has exacerbated the crisis. Before we continue, please subscribe to our channel if you find this content valuable. The significant influx of migrants from post-war countries raises the possibility of Sweden electing a radical Islamist party to parliament, potentially as soon as the 2026 election. While the majority of Swedes were Christians from the 12th to the early 20th centuries, that proportion has now dropped to less than 60%. This demographic shift is likely to embolden Islamic groups advocating for a separate legal system with Sharia law for Muslim citizens. The key question is whether the principles of law and order will prevail over efforts to establish a parallel society governed by gangs, clans, and radical Islamic values. Mr. Thedéen, in his remarks to the Financial Times, highlighted that one of Sweden's greatest strengths during prosperous times was a strong foundation of trust among people and towards authorities. He now fears that this trust could be eroded if gang violence is not effectively addressed. A glimmer of hope lies with the non-socialist coalition government, which took office after the September 2022 election. They are actively working on legislation to address the crisis. Justice Minister Gunnar Strömmer is pushing for systemic change, shifting the focus from rehabilitating offenders to prioritizing support for victims. Inspired by Denmark, the legislative agenda includes harsher sentences for serious crimes, increased penalties for gang members, and specialized facilities for young offenders. Additionally, law enforcement would gain new tools such as electronic surveillance of gang members before crimes occur in designated search zones. Plans also include expanding prison capacity. While the debate among the Swedish public has become deeply divided, with accusations of racism and fascism tainting public discourse. Various sources, including Russian trolls, radical Islamist groups, and media, are stoking the flames. Riding a wave of discontent with the government, the opposition has gained ground in the polls. However, it's not game over yet. The next election is in September 2024, giving the government. The Social Democrats, who were in power from 2014 to 2022 when problems escalated, feel the pressure. Beyond politics, the crux of the issue is whether legislation and law enforcement alone can address the widening gap in societal norms. If this divide cannot be bridged and solutions remain elusive, the best hope may be stringent law enforcement to mitigate the worst problems. However, this could mean accepting a society where gangs and radical Islamists hold sway, a prospect worrying neighboring.